Hello to those who are just joining us. Thank you for stopping to visit with the Sterling Lexicon team. We're delighted to be keystone sponsors of this year's BAM annual conference. For our second session today, we hear from David Enser of the RES Forum. As technical partners of the RES Forum, Sterling Lexicon brings our clients access to a variety of tools to help them gauge readiness to handle new risks and challenges and analyze a variety of different policy types for both domestic and cross-border assignments. You'll gain insights about who the members of the RES Forum are, what tools are available to help you improve your program through comparative data. Let's hear more.
For those who are listening in who may not know a lot about RES Forum, can you share with us a little bit about who your members are and some of the things you engage in for information sharing?
The RES Forum started off in London in 2006. It was a collective of about 25 London-based directors and heads of mobility, and it really grew from that. Now we comprise a community of around 2,000 people, 1,000 or so internationally operating organizations, multinational companies, international charities, NGOs, all of whom discuss and share in a great many ways through events and research and analytics and e-learning and web resources and also digital collaborations, driving forward this field of understanding and exploration when it comes to cross-border employment.
Fantastic. Well, as we all know, the world of work has changed rather dramatically in the last year or so, with both companies and employees alike now reevaluating where work gets done and how it gets done. So they need the tools to be able to do that with informed insights and to be able to do it strategically. So I would love for you to share with us a little bit about the risk analysis tool that RES has developed and some of the benefits and how that works.
Yeah, sure. Well, let me just start at the start with why analytics helping to support decisions in cross-border employment and global mobility. When you work in reward, you use pay data. So when you work in global mobility, I can say from personal experience, having done, been a consultant and also been in senior roles in in-house, HR positions, you also need that comparative data around risk, complex compliance, benefits, duty of care issues, well-being issues, and that's really where RES Forum's journey started in analytics. The risk tool comes from discussions with a huge number of international HR directors, global mobility heads, regional teams, and also consultants and academia to look at a really broad definition of risk in cross-border employment, cross-border hiring, global mobility. When traditionally we thought of risk, we thought of tax, immigration, social security, and maybe physical risk on site. But we know that there is a much broader interpretation to be had that covers attrition and benefits, candidate selection, succession planning, career development, cross-cultural preparation, literally the A to Z. Well, the last one for me is vendor management. But before that, you've got tax and social security, strategy, short-term business visitors, and of course now with the rise of global international remote working as an increasingly emergent practice, then that itself gets thrown into the mix in terms of this very broad definition of risk. So we took that idea and we built tools that help companies understand where they stand both in isolation and versus other organizations using the tools, whether they are, we might say, optimized, managed, defined, or fully reactive in the way that they manage risk in their organization. There's risk scoring indices which help you understand what the average score, and there's also your own program score, so you can see where you are optimized in however many processes across 11 different categories, from reactive to optimized. And then you can also as a tool user then compare your scores to others, of course, and see where they've chosen to prioritize and optimize their program. And of course, it then presents you as a user with some conscious choices as to where you want to focus you and your team's time. Now, one last aspect of this tool to consider as well is the role of mobility is fundamentally changing. You know what I know. I'm sure that people in this room would also, or in this virtual room, would also acknowledge it as well. And I think there are different metrics that you can look at the evolving role of mobility. It's some work we did again with academia over the course of the last 3 years. The role of GM is increasingly centered around 4 key pillars: the smart global talent manager, the flawless GM program designer, the efficient global people effectiveness expert and the agile strategic advisor. You put the S, the A, the F and the E together, and that's the Res Forum SAFE model for global mobility. And we see all sorts of changes and evolutions happening right now. And then the final metric that we look at this is imagine a triangle: complex compliance, employee well-being and duty of care. Why are they important? Well, take, for example, the users typically involved in the value chain of global mobility. For an employee, they care and you care about their well-being. One of the very fundamentals of the GM role is to manage very, very complex compliance. And of course, the HR business partner, together with the business and the hiring managers, they represent that responsibility for duty of care. So again, these three indices, compliance, well-being and duty of care, are again one more prism through which we can assess and evolve a global mobility program.
Fantastic. I love that SAFE acronym with the risk tool. It really is something that helps drive it home. And it gives us, as you said, we need those insights to make informed decisions, and we need to be able to assess where we are on the spectrum so that we can make adjustments and see how to be ready for future challenges.
I think we certainly can all agree with David that the role of global mobility is fundamentally changing, and strong partnerships and collaboration are more important than ever to achieve optimal compliance, employee well-being, and duty of care. Thank you so much for joining us today, and be sure to reach out if you would like a demo of any of the Res Risk or policy analysis tools, or if we can tell you more about how the Sterling Lexicon team can help you achieve success through purposeful mobility in our new world of work. Thanks, and have a great day.